everyone, welcome to Nerdy Geek Live. I'm your host Chris, and for our list today, we are taking a look at Omega level mutants. Now, before we dive in, let's first talk about what Omega level actually is. Basically, it means that a mutant with the Omega level stamp firmly stamped on his buttocks is the best at what he or she does. The power level of that mutant main skill cannot be surpassed by anyone, it is an Omega mutant. Let's take Forge and Magneto for example real quick. Magneto's power of magnetism cannot be surpassed by any other being on Earth, while Forge, his inventor skills, can and has been surpassed by Tony Stark and Franklin Richard to name but a few. That makes Magneto an Omega level in magnetism and Forge just a really cool guy. Now that we cleared that up, let's get on with the list. Robert Bobby Drake was a member of the original X-Men. He is part of the mission to the living island Krakoa, where he ends up being captured. Rescued by a new team of X-Men, Drake decides he is no longer needed with the X-Men at that time. He joins the ranks of several other superhero teams, with the Champions and X-Factor among them. After several years away, Drake joins the X-Men again after the Mere Island saga. It is here where Drake discovers his Omega level powers. His body was briefly taken over by Emma Frost, and she uses his powers to a previously unknown height. After becoming himself again, Drake seeks out Frost to teach him how to be that powerful without the need for the psychic possession. A while after that, a secondary mutation sets in, preventing Drake to revert from his ice form back to his human form. With the events of the decimation after the House of M, Drake believes to have lost his powers. It is soon discovered that they were just depressed within him. Once again at full strength, Drake remains an Omega level mutant, but his secondary mutation seems to have vanished. What can be said about Storm? Her powers of weather manipulation are well known to anyone who have ever picked up an X-Men comic. She is a prominent member of the second team of X-Men after refusing their invitation a couple of times, choosing to act as a protector to the people of her own tribe instead. Eventually, she joins the team with Nightcrawler, Wolverine, Colossus, and Banshee. When Cyclops left after the apparent death of Jean Grey, Monroe was appointed leader of the team. At one time, she found herself powerless after being hit by a device Forge created. Believing this to be a permanent feature, Monroe returns to Africa to live out the rest of her life among her own tribe. However, she grows restless there and decides to seek out Forge to restore her powers. After being tricked into attacking Forge and being stranded on an alternate Earth, Monroe regains her powers and joins the X-Men once again. Years later, Storm married T'Challa and became Queen of Wakanda. The events of Avengers vs. X-Men created a rift between the two that has never fully healed. While Exodus has a vast array of powers, his only Omega level power is considered to be telekinesis. On a quest for the Tower of Power in the 12th century, Duperry is found by Apocalypse and transformed into Exodus. Duperry failed to kill an enemy of the self-proclaimed First Mutant. As punishment, Apocalypse strips Exodus of his powers and entombs him in stasis. The tomb was found by Magneto in the 20th century. Magneto manages to free Exodus and restore its powers. Duperry became Magneto's right hand on the mutant space station Avalon. After Magneto was defeated by the X-Men and X-Factor, he took over the reins in the space station. It didn't take him long to become a fierce enemy to all the mutant teams and the Avengers for years. After the decimation, Duperry forms a new team of acolytes and aligns himself with Mr. Sinister's marauders for a time. Eventually, Duperry is captured and imprisoned after a failed assassination attempt on Cyclops, who he sees as a threat to the mutant race. Telepathy, telekinesis, optic blast, healing factor, super strength, light. Is there anything Hope Summers can't do? The short answer, nope. Any ability any mutant has, she has to some degree. Born as the first mutant after decimation, Hope's birth made Cerebro explode. Unfortunately, her birth was also detected by the purifiers under Nimrod. They started murdering every baby in town to find and kill Hope. Cable and the X-Men eventually interfered and rescued Hope from the murder spree. Believing Hope to be the mutant messiah, Cable took her into the future to keep her safe. Even during the time travels, he was relentlessly pursued by Bishop, who believed Hope to be the mutant Antichrist. Eventually, Hope and Cable found their way back to present day. It was soon discovered that Hope could mimic old mutant powers. The reach of this was never fully investigated, but the rumors said it might be worldwide. Later, Hope is identified as a possible host of the Phoenix Force, which kickstarted the events of Avengers vs. X-Men. Hope chose the side of the Avengers and played a key role in the defeat of the Phoenix-infused Cyclops. The full story of Magneto is a long one. To go over every major aspect alone would take more than this episode can handle. Let's try to give you some clip notes. Originally called Max Eisenhardt, Magneto was a child of Jewish descent when World War II broke out. He survived the war, but his family unfortunately didn't. Trying to live a normal life after the war, he married a woman who eventually gave birth to Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch soon after she left Magneto. After these events, Magneto takes on the name of Eric Lensher. His history with the human race so far shapes his views on mutant-human relationships. He forms the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants after his first public act of terrorism is foiled by the X-Men and his longtime friend Charles Xavier. Magneto has tried and failed countless times to start a free mutant nation. Avalon, Asteroid M, and Genosha, to name a few, were all failed attempts. During the events of Secret War, Magneto is placed with the heroes because the Beyonder feels that his intentions were always pure as a champion for mutant kind. This starts his road to redemption. It has to be said that that road is a mountain road, with high peaks but also very deep valleys. With the recent events of Axis, Magneto is believed to be a true hero. That concludes our list. There are several more Omega level mutants out there. If you can think of more, put them down in the comment section. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Please share this video with your friends because it does help us grow. I've been Chris from Nerding Geek Life, and I will see you all soon.